Good morning, friends. You may be wondering why I'm sitting on a very white queen size sheet. It's been laid out on my bed. That is because I have declared a state of emergency. I have some very serious fixing to do. Now, as you know, my petticoat arrived in the mail yesterday, like right after I finished my haul video. And in the last video, you'll see I've done a bit of mending and I tried to wash it. That didn't work. I don't know what happened to that thing or where it lived before it came to me. I will say this, it definitely lived up to the price. I paid less than $11 for it, and it shows. The fabric, if I can even call it fabric, has this very strong odor. It transcends synthetic. I've never seen anything like it. I can't even describe what this fabric is. I think it's the same kind of fabric that was used to make Wish wedding dresses. And I don't think I need to say this. Please don't buy Wish wedding dresses. Sophia Nygaard did that video, and she explains that 2 of her 4 dresses came with a very strong chlorine odor. And I think that whatever fabric made those dresses is the same kind of fabric that made this petticoat. I cannot get the smell out. I overdosed it with fabric softener. I washed it twice. That odor is not going away. One upside, it dries very quickly. I line dried it, and I think within an hour it was completely dry, which was good because I had to get it back in the box immediately. So that's where it's going to live. I'm not even going to bother to take it out of the box and cut a pattern, because I'm worried if I cut a pattern, it's going to that it's going to leak that odor onto this sheet, and I can't have that. So it's in quarantine. I'm quarantining the petticoat. But for today, what I'm going to do is eyeball the outer layer. And I really hope I have enough fabric out of this sheet. I think I can handle it. This is a queen size cotton sheet. It kind of has a nice soft feel to it, so hopefully that won't cause any kind of static. I know the best fabrics to make petticoats out of is silk or satin, something that's anti-static, something that doesn't cling. I don't have that kind of money to buy silk, so I'm going to try it with this sheet. Mostly because of this little feature that it has. It has this lace trimming along this side of it. So I'm going to use this bottom part with the lace and just leave this on. This can be the bottom layer, and I won't even have to hem it. I did study the petticoat before I tucked it back away. What it needs is 2 strips for the bottom, kind of like a boho skirt, where it just, as you go down the skirt, it just has wider and wider strips of fabric that gives it that volume. So I need 2 strips of fabric for those layers for the bottom, and then the top part from the waist to the knee, it will be more of a straight skirt. So I need 3 panels, 1 for the top part of the skirt and then the 2 layers. And instead of cutting the pattern, which I normally do in these situations, what I'm going to do is guesstimate. But there should be enough here to make room for error. Yeah, let's get started. last night finally sewing this bottom layer onto the top layer, and so that's sewn on. So all I have left to do now is finish this seam. And as I stated before, this bottom part doesn't need any finishing because it's already has this lacy bit attached. So instead of a bottoms hem and creating something for the bottom, I just kind of left it where it was, and it was all about this attachment here. I resorted to gathering instead of pleats because I thought it would be easier for this particular project, and it turns out gathering is really hard. It's a lot harder than I expected, but I did pull it off after a very long time of adjustments, like adjusting this thing. I probably did it about 20 times. Getting the gathers even enough to fit onto the top part, that was very hard and very frustrating, and it did not take a day. Just a quick update so I could tell you what's next, and it will be my final step would be to trim this seam allowance here, get it trimmed and finished. So that's what we're going to do. Voila, we have a petticoat. That took a lot longer than I expected. Certainly not a one-day project. It actually has been over a month, but I had to take about a 6-week break from the project because of other obligations. But I returned home a few days ago, and now the petticoat is officially finished. I'm trying to talk loud because my microphone is dead and I'm far away from the camera right now, but I wanted to show you what I look like right now in my circle skirt without the petticoat, and just to show you kind of the trouble I had in the first place, just this part bunching up as I walked. So you know, as I walked, it would just crumple around here and like bunch up between my legs. Hence the need for a petticoat. So petticoat is complete, so we are going to try it on underneath the circle skirt and see not just if it helps with the crumpling, but also with giving the circle skirt some more volume. So there is a small amount of difference. It's noticeable, I think, and we're going to do a test walk around the room and see if there's any more crumpling or bunching as I go. But it feels very comfortable, and there doesn't seem to be any problems as I walk. The train here is a little higher up off the ground with the petticoat on. It seems very comfortable, and it's giving the skirt some extra poof. The petticoat is serving its purpose, and that's what I want mostly, is to be able to walk without bunching, because I hadn't taken into consideration by making a circle skirt that there would be bunching in the front. But now that I have a petticoat, it's giving me more volume, and it's preventing the bunching. So I think a real test will be in order as soon as I wear this out again. That's all for today. Thank you for watching, and I hope I at least taught you something about efficiency. Not so much historical accuracy, but comfort and efficiency are what this channel is all about. So we'll see you next time on my next project. Bye.
Welcome to the channel, like and subscribe. Isn't that what YouTube wants us to say? Our lords and master at Google? Yeah.